My girlfriend said, "It was just drawings." I replied, "Not for much longer." Then I documented everything, kicked her out, took her to court, and I just smiled because she never expected a judge to turn her trash into our daughter's college fund. Original post, I am 42. My girlfriend Laura is 38. We had been together a little over 2 years when this happened. I am divorced. I have 1 kid. My daughter Mia is 17. She lives with me full time. Her mom moved out of state years ago. Mia has always drawn. When other kids wanted tablets, she wanted sketchbooks. Our garage turned into her studio. Easel, boxes of canvases, portfolios stacked in the corner. Last year she got serious about art school. There was one school she really wanted, a private art college with a big name and a crazy tuition bill to match. The guidance counselor told us they gave a few large scholarships for portfolio work, up to $50,000 a year. For months she worked on that portfolio. Original pieces, large canvases and mounted work. She labeled the big black portfolio case and a cardboard box with thick marker. "Mia's portfolio do not touch." I said the same thing to Laura more than once. She liked to declutter, her word. If something sat too long on a counter, she would throw it out. I told her the garage was off limits, especially the corner with Mia's things. One Saturday, I had to drive my mother 2 hours for a medical appointment. We left at 8 and got back close to 4. When I pulled into the driveway, I noticed the trash and recycling bins were overfull and the garage door was half open. Inside, the garage looked different. Empty, too empty. The far corner where Mia kept her stuff looked swept out. The big cardboard box was gone. The black portfolio case was gone. At first my brain told me maybe Mia moved them to her room. Maybe the school had asked for something early. I walked into the house. Laura was on the couch scrolling her phone. The place smelled like cleaning spray. "Busy day?" I asked. She smiled. "Yeah, I did a deep clean. You should have seen that garage. Total disaster. You're welcome." There was a sound down the hall, a small, sharp noise. I found Mia sitting on the floor of her room, back against the bed, empty portfolio sleeve in her hands. Her face was blank. "Dad," she said. Her voice sounded far away. "It's gone." My stomach dropped, but I forced my voice to stay level. "What's gone?" I asked, even though I already knew. "The box, the big case, everything for the scholarship." She said she cleaned. She said it was just old stuff. I did not yell. I did not run to Laura. I took a breath. "Okay," I said. "First thing, we check the bins." Mia followed me outside in her socks. We opened the big trash can. Nothing but loose, broken down cardboard and black bags tied tight. On top was a slip from the city waste company. They had done a bulk pickup at noon. The art was gone. I stood there looking at that slip. I felt something go very still inside my chest. I took a picture of the bins, the garage, the empty corner. The "Do Not Touch" sign still taped to the wall with nothing under it. First action, not a fight. Documentation. Update 1. Once I had the photos, I went back inside. Mia stayed in her room. I could hear her breathing like she had run a mile. Laura was still on the couch, watching some show. "Hey," she said, "did you see the garage? So much better now. There was so much junk in there." I stood in front of the TV and muted it. "What exactly did you throw out?" I asked. She frowned, annoyed. "Random boxes, old junk, some of Mia's old school projects, that big, ugly portfolio thing, she never uses it. It was covered in dust." "The one that said Mia's portfolio do not touch in black marker," I said. She rolled her eyes. "Yeah, that, come on. It was just drawings. She's always drawing new ones. She'll live." I pulled my phone out, showed her a picture of the label, the empty corner, the bulk pickup slip. "That ugly portfolio thing was her application for a $50,000 scholarship," I said. My voice was flat. "Original work. No copies. The school needed to see them in person next week." Laura laughed once, short. "You're joking." "No," I said. Her face tightened. "Well, no one told me. You never said it was some big deal scholarship." "I told you not to touch the garage," I said, more than once. "I told you that corner was Mia's portfolio for art school." You said she had art stuff, she snapped. You did not say if you throw this away, she loses her future. Besides, who stores something that important in a messy garage? That's on you. Behind her calm mask, I could see panic flicker. Her foot tapped, her hands pressed hard into the couch cushion. Where did the trash go? I asked. They came earlier, she said. I scheduled a bulk pickup. Old shelves, those boxes, some other junk, it's all at the dump by now. I nodded once. Okay, I said. Here's what's going to happen right now. I'm taking Mia to the dump to see if there's any chance at all. You stay here. You're overreacting, she said. It's not like someone died. I didn't answer. I went to Mia's room. Come on, I said gently. We're going to the dump. It's a long shot, but we'll at least try. She nodded and followed me like a ghost. The dump smelled like chemicals and rot. A worker met us at the office. I explained what happened, showed him the photos, the slip. He shook his head. I'm sorry, he said. Bulk from your street went into the compactor. It's crushed and buried by now. We can't go through it even if we wanted to. Mia stood there in her hoodie, hands tucked inside the sleeves. She didn't cry. She just stared out over the huge pile of trash. On the drive home, she whispered, It took me 6 months. I know, I said. We can redo it, right? She asked, like she already knew the answer. I can stay up all night, every night. The deadline is next week, I said. They needed originals, not photos. Even if you drew nonstop, it wouldn't be the same work. She turned her face to the window. I drove. My knuckles were white on the steering wheel, but I still did not raise my voice. Back at home, Laura was in the kitchen, arms crossed. Well, she asked, did you find it? No, I said. Mia brushed past her without a word and went to her room. Laura sighed loud. She is being dramatic, she said. Kids bounce back. She can go to another school. I looked at her, really looked. That portfolio was not yours, I said. You had no right to throw it away. I was cleaning, she said. I live here too. Not for much longer, I said. She blinked. What? You're going to stay at your sister's for a while, I said. Tonight you sleep in the guest room, tomorrow you pack. I need you out by the end of the week. Her mouth fell open. You're kicking me out over trash. Over the way you treated my kid, I said. Over the fact that you can't even say sorry without blaming her. Over the fact that you were warned and didn't care. She started to yell then, about how ungrateful I was, about how much she had done for us. I didn't respond. I walked down the hall and closed Mia's door gently. That night, after Mia finally fell asleep, I sat at the kitchen table with the photos, the scholarship emails, and my laptop. I opened the website for a local attorney. First call, not revenge, protection. Update 2, the lawyer I found was a quiet man in his 50s. His office smelled like old books and coffee. I brought the photos, the printed emails from the school, and a timeline of what happened. He listened, took notes, and asked simple questions. The portfolio was your daughter's property, he said. It had clear labels. You had witnesses to your warnings. My mom heard me tell Laura to leave the garage alone, I said. Mia did too. Some of our friends knew the portfolio was there. We talked about it at dinner. He nodded. You have text messages mentioning the scholarship. I pulled out my phone and showed him a thread with Laura. Please remember the garage is off limits. That box in the corner is Mia's art school portfolio, I had written. She had replied with a thumbs-up emoji and, relax, I'm not going to touch her precious masterpiece pile. He took photos of the screen. We can file a civil suit for destruction of property and emotional distress, he said. We won't get $50,000. Courts don't treat scholarships as guaranteed income. But we can argue the cost of lost opportunity and the value of the work itself. Maybe we land somewhere in the middle. I thought of Mia sitting in her room scrolling the art school website she now would not attend. Do it, I said. When Laura got served, she exploded. She showed up at the house waving the papers. You sued me, she shouted from the porch. You told a court I destroyed your child's future. I stepped outside and closed the door behind me so Mia wouldn't hear. I told the court what happened, I said. You threw away her portfolio after being warned not to, that's all. You're insane, she said. You're going to look stupid in front of a judge. I was cleaning. That's it. I'll tell everyone what kind of psycho sues his girlfriend over some scribbles. And she did. She went on social media. Long posts about how her ex was suing her for throwing out trash in the garage. She left out the scholarship, the warning texts, the labels. She painted me as controlling and bitter. People we knew started messaging. "Is this about you?" one friend asked, attaching a screenshot. I sent one response to each. Yes. She threw out my daughter's art school portfolio after being told not to. We are handling it in court. I won't argue online. Two close friends asked for proof. I showed them the texts, the label photos, the school email confirming the portfolio had been received and was needed for scholarship review. Both of them went quiet. One later told me she had unfollowed Laura. In the middle of all this, I focused on Mia. We toured a state university with a decent art program, not her first choice but still good. I met with her counselor. We looked at other scholarship options. They said my old work was strong enough, she told me one night. Now they'll never see it. They'll see what you make next, I said. This wasn't your failure. Court day came months later. Laura brought a lawyer and came dressed like she was going to a job interview. She avoided looking at us. The judge read through the file, the texts, the photos of the label, the email from the art school. "Miss Green," the judge said, "did you throw away these items?" Laura shifted in her seat. "I was cleaning," she said. "I didn't know they were worth anything." It was an honest mistake. He's being dramatic. The judge tapped the printed text message. "This is you saying, relax, I'm not going to touch her precious masterpiece pile." Laura opened her mouth, closed it, then nodded. "I didn't mean that literally," she said. The judge sighed. "You were clearly warned. These items belonged to a minor child. The labels were clear. The result was the loss of unique work connected to a significant scholarship opportunity. They did not give us the full $50,000. That would have been too clean. Instead, they awarded $38,000 in damages. Enough to matter, not enough to feel like a movie ending." Laura's jaw dropped. "I don't have that kind of money," she said. "That is a matter for you and your attorney," the judge said. "Judgment is entered." Walking out of that courtroom, I felt less angry than I expected. Just tired, but steady. The money went into a new account the day it finally arrived. I put Mia's name on it and told her what it was for. "It's not the school you wanted," I said, "but this is still a future with your name on it." For the first time in months, she smiled all the way to her eyes. Update 3. After the judgment, Laura got quieter online. Some people had seen the court record. A few mutuals stopped liking her posts. A month later, I got an email from her. No greeting, no small talk. "I want to talk," it said. "We can work this out without lawyers. Meet me at the diner on 7th on Saturday, noon." I stared at it for a long time. Then I forwarded it to my attorney. "She can't ask you to give the money back," he said, "but she can ask you to release her from wage garnishment or payment plans. You don't have to meet at all. If you do, keep it short and in public." I asked Mia how she felt about it. "Do you need to?" she asked. "I don't," I said, "but I think I want to hear what she says when there's nothing left to spin." So I replied that I would meet her. I went alone. Laura was already there when I arrived. She looked thinner, makeup heavier, hands wrapped around a coffee mug like it might run away. "You look good," she said. "Considering." I sat down. "You asked to talk," I said. "I have 30 minutes. She scoffed, then tried on a softer face. "Look," she said. "I get that you're mad. I've had time to think. I should not have thrown her stuff out, I admit that. But suing me was over the top. I have debts now. They're taking it out of my checks. I had to move back in with my sister. I'm drowning." Her eyes got shiny. "I want you to drop the judgment," she said, "or lower it, something. I made a mistake, but I'm not a monster." "You didn't make one mistake," I said. My voice stayed calm. "You ignored clear labels. You ignored my warnings. You blamed my daughter. You called her work scribbles and trash. You lied about it online. Then you tried to make me look insane for standing up for her." "That's not fair," she said. "It's accurate," I said. She leaned forward. "We were a family," she said. I cooked, I helped with bills. I was there at her recital, that has to count for something. It does, I said. It's part of why it hurt more. She reached across the table like she might touch my hand, then stopped. I miss you, she said. I miss the house, the dinners, the stupid shows we watched. We can start over. I'll never touch her stuff again. I'll even apologize to her, please. There it was, the part where she tried to pull us back into the story where she was central. No, I said. She blinked hard. That's it? Yes, I said. You showed me who you are around my kid. I believe you. We're not starting over. We're not negotiating the judgment. You will pay what the court decided. That money already belongs to Mia's future. You don't get to take that from her twice. Tears started sliding down her face. People at other tables glanced over, then looked away. You're cruel, she whispered. You're punishing me forever for one bad day. I shook my head. I'm not punishing you, I said. I'm living with your choices. So are you. I stood up. Don't email me again, I said. If you need to talk, go through your lawyer. We're done. I left her there with her half-empty coffee and her story. Final update: it has been a year and a half since the red portfolio vanished, a year since the judgment, 10 months since that diner. Life is calmer now. The noise around what happened has faded. Mia did not get into the fancy art school. She did get into a good state university with a solid art program. Between the college fund from the judgment and some smaller scholarships, we covered most of her costs. She still draws. At first there was a gap. Sketchbooks stayed closed. Canvases leaned blank against the wall. The loss hit her hard. One day I came home from work and found a new canvas on the easel. It was a painting of our garage. Same cracked floor, same shelves. In the far corner was a bright, glowing box labeled "Do Not Touch." The box was locked and the key was in a hand that looked a lot like hers. That's new, I said. She shrugged, but I saw the small smile tug at her mouth. For my intro painting class, she said. Theme is boundaries. We both knew it was more than homework. As for Laura, I hear about her now and then from mutuals. She burned through a couple of jobs. The wage garnishment from the judgment follows her. Last I heard, she was renting a room and telling people her crazy ex ruined her life over trash. Some believe her, some know better. I don't go looking for updates. If a story pops up on my feed, I scroll past it. She is a character in a chapter that ended, nothing more. Sometimes Mia will ask small, practical questions. Do you regret letting her move in? Yeah, I say, but I don't regret kicking her out. Do you ever feel bad about the lawsuit? No, I say. I would have felt worse doing nothing while someone treated your work like garbage. She nods. That seems to be enough. I am not angry most days, just done. There is no fantasy where Laura admits every wrong in the perfect way and everything resets. Real life doesn't work like that. What we got instead was this: my daughter saw me choose her, not a girlfriend, not keeping the peace. Her effort, her future. The black portfolio case is gone, the work inside is gone, that still stings sometimes. But on the shelf in our new, very clearly labeled garage, there is a fireproof box with her current work photographed and backed up. Her idea, not mine. On the inside of the door, she taped a printout of that painting she did. The glowing box with the key in her hand. When I lock the garage at night, I see it and think of the first picture I took on the worst day. An empty corner and a trash slip. Now the space is full again, with better rules, with clearer lines, with a kid who knows her father will stand in front of that line and not move.